Welcome to Gutter Trash, episode 376. God hates astronauts. My name is Eric.
I am Jason.
Hello, Jason.
Why, hello.
How are ya?
I'm good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Under-caffeinated,
Yeah?
but otherwise good.
Well, that's a weird coinky-dink.
Oh?
Yeah, I've been ill the last couple days, and so...
Dude, you've been ill forever, yo.
Whoa, thanks, man. But in this way, I mean sick.
Oh. Dude, you're sick, dog.
I'm gonna stop talking.
This show is lit.
Okay. So, I've actually not had caffeine for like the last couple of days, and today was the first day that I felt slightly human.
Yeah.
And I had a tea very early this morning.
Ooh.
And that is all.
What is your go-to tea?
It was just the tea that I keep at work, which was a box of 100 tea bags that I bought for $1.
Nice. Wow. That sounds like the best deal I've ever heard. And I don't mean just on tea. I mean like the best dollar. That's like a penny for a glass of tea.
Yeah, yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's just generic black, like Kroger brand tea or
that's
whatever.
fine.
Yeah.
For a penny?
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah.
That's amazing.
I'm not knocking it.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Cause, I mean, I have 2 boxes of tea here that were, like, individually, like, $3 or $4 each that
Right.
only has, like, 20 bags in it.
I mean, that's still a fair deal.
Sure,
but,
yeah.
But, wow.
Yeah.
That's like,
And they're definitely fancier, but, you know,
yeah.
as far as just straight tea that I can, you know, if I feel like in the afternoon, I can brew up a cup and then, you know, pour some ice in it and have an iced tea.
Man.
It's perfectly great.
You really, like, got the better, that's straight out of, like, Donald Trump's Art of the Deal right there. I had a orange black tea.
Yeah.
That was pretty tasty.
I believe that's one of the kinds of teas that I have here.
No,
Like an orange spice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was spicy.
Yeah.
That was probably like $1 for that tea bag.
Right, yeah. It's a very, very good tea.
Yeah.
But yeah, a little pricey.
Hmm.
But, it's weird that both of us, drink tea today, hot tea,
Mm-hmm.
cause it is like 100 degrees outside.
It is pretty warm.
And
here.
just moist.
It is.
In the worst way.
Yeah, not in the fun kind of bedroom way.
Nope.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been kind of nasty here in Ohio.
Yeah.
I mean, like, my cousin was in town from Florida over the weekend. He was like, why is it so fucking hot here?
Yeah.
He's like, it's hotter here than it is in Florida.
You know, one of my close friends lives in Florida, and she and I compare temperatures every day, and it has consistently been hotter here in Ohio.
It's weird.
Than it is down there.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah, no, me neither.
One bit.
And also, not technically summer as of this recording.
Oh, is it not yet?
Nope.
Is it July when it starts?
No, I believe it's actually tomorrow.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
So last week as you hear this, or a month ago, who knows?
More like a month. A little behind.
Because this is... Okay, so we're at the end of June in real life.
Yes.
Here, as we record this.
Yeah.
That's fine. They got other shit to do.
That's true. There are better podcasts that they could
yeah.
have listened to in the
Yeah.
meantime.
Sure. But none that will tell you as much about God Hates Astronauts.
I hope not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard anyone review that book on a podcast?
I don't listen to comic book podcasts.
Yeah, they're terrible.
Kinda. I can tell you the last time that I listened to a comic book related podcast.
It was this show.
No, I've never listened to this show.
Really? I did, like, back in the 90s. When we started it, 1991 or whatever it was.
I think I listened to like a couple at the beginning.
Oh, I've listened to a few.
Yeah.
I've listened to a few.
Yeah.
Especially like the ones that I wasn't on. I'd listen to those.
Sure. I've listened to the Zardos one like once or twice.
That's great.
It's our best episode.
Yeah, it is. Well, it's the best thing we ever reviewed.
Yeah,
We've
that is
never
also true.
We've never been blessed with a finer piece of entertainment to sort through. Although
That's why we keep going. Trying to find that next one.
Although if there's anything that maybe took a page from it, it might be God Hates Astronauts. I mean,
I doubt it.
I could see some inspiration happening there.
Maybe.
Not like along the same perspective or like whoever made Zardoz clearly had a special thing going that can't be duplicated or learned. You can't be learned by watching Zardoz. You have to be born with that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I think the major difference here is that the craziness of Zardoz was all meant to be taken seriously.
Yes, it was.
And
Wait a minute, God Hates Astronauts wasn't supposed to be serious?
I don't think so.
Huh. Okay. I thought it was gripping and it was like a Marvel event.
It's better than any Marvel events I've ever read.
Yeah. I started saying maybe not the original Secret Wars because I love that book. I've got a lot of nostalgia for that book.
Sure.
Different.
Maybe,
it's so different.
Maybe we should go back and re-listen to our review of that to see what we thought of it.
Yeah.
Because I know we reviewed it, and I know...
Oh, yeah.
I don't recall much anything great being said about it.
No, I liked it.
Outside of Mike Zeckart.
I always liked it. I mean, it's hard to, you can't really get behind the story.
Okay.
The story's okay.
Yeah.
It's just the idea when you're a kid of that much
Yeah.
craziness.
Yeah. Speaking of a lot of craziness.
Yeah.
God Hates Astronauts.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By Ryan Brown.
And some other people.
And some other people, but mostly Ryan
Yeah.
Brown. Yeah. He is the main, puppet master behind everything God Hates Astronauts related. Originally started as a webcomic, which I believe, this book that we read is what that reprints.
Okay.
Which is volume 1 out of 3. Its title is The Head That Wouldn't Die. Which, once you start reading it, makes total sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
It's a superhero book.
sure. It has most of the tropes of a superhero story.
Uh-huh.
And some other stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. How did I not know about this book before, like a week ago? How is that even possible?
I'm not sure.
I mean, I know I've seen it on our shelf.
Okay,
at
so
work.
Mavericks did order it.
Yeah. But I think I was just like, well, that looks, like a weird superhero book.
Right.
And that was it.
I mean, the title alone should at least raise a flag, right?
There's a lot of weird titles, though.
Okay,
but
that's fair, especially from Image.
yeah. But yeah, no, I never ever heard anyone mention what it was about. I never read any of the solicitations. I never flipped through any copy of the book because I typically am not the person that orders the Image books.
Right.
So I never even looked at this.
I'm considering the person who does do the Image ordering at Mavericks. I'm very surprised that you guys ever got any copies in there.
Really?
Yeah.
We probably just got the first one because we order a lot of number ones and see if anybody likes them, and then we advance the next one. But yeah. So this is
So the best way that I can describe it is it reminded me a lot of Axe Cop.
Yes.
But
that's the one book it reminded me of. Too.
yes. But instead of having a child write it, it's like having a dirty old adult who thinks like a child write it.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. And that's not supposed to sound harsh.
No, that is a compliment.
Yes. Yeah, because, when you think, if you describe something to someone well, you've read Axe Cop, right? Well, it's like that, only it's like that kid grew up and he's got, a dirty mind, and you're like, oh, that sounds terrible, and he's, trying to write like Axe Cop. No, there's like this is very
like
genuine feeling.
He has tapped into whatever that thing is, that ability to reach into your childhood
and make those off the cuff connections.
Yes. But
unexpected, weird, amalgamated, perversely violent connections.
Yes. Yep. It is magical.
It is beautiful. Yeah. It's so amazing. Actually, I was gonna look and see if we had a God Hates Astronauts #2 anywhere in the store, so I could put it on the wall and put first appearance of Stargrass, and just wait for people to ask what the hell that meant. But I couldn't find one.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Where to begin? I guess. So, Power Persons 5.
Yes, that is the name of our super team.
And, aptly named because there's 5 of them. I
believe. And they all have powers.
Yeah, they do.
And most of them.
Yeah. And, they're fighting a guy right as it opens up. I mean, it is action from the get-go.
Yes, it is.
It's like the middle of like a brawl or whatever.
Yeah. Our main villain, at least in the first part, is sort of an 1800s-esque pugilist.
Yeah.
Sir John Sullivan, is that his name?
Yeah, Sullivan, I know. I can't remember his first name, but yeah.
Right. Who is also training a squad of bears
to do crimes for him.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a sentence you just said.
And so, anyway.
So a fight ensues.
Yes.
And our leader here, Star-Lord? No.
Not Star-Lord, no.
Starman?
Yeah. We apologize for not being able to keep track of the characters. There are a lot.
And their names sometimes change before the end of the book.
Starfighter.
Starfighter,
yeah. Because luckily, Mr. Brown has printed on the very first page, essentially, a list of voices you should hear in your head as you read the characters. And he lists every character and what actor should play them.
Right. And I actually found that helpful.
Yeah, it was, actually.
Yeah.
Because I really did hear John C. Reilly as Starfighter throughout.
I totally heard Dean Stockwell as the Professor Rhinoceros guy. What was his name? Professor?
Dr. Professor.
Dr. Professor. I totally heard his voice, like, every time he spoke.
So Starfighter gets into a fight with Sullivan. And Starfighter is apparently invincible and immortal. So he pretty much just lets Sullivan pummel the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Which is sort of where our story begins.
Mm-hmm.
With that deed.
Oh yeah, it was pretty brutal.
Yeah, it is.
It was like a Dave Gibbons Watchmen style layout of just his face being brutalized.
Yeah. So basically he gets the shit beat out of his face, which then, swells and bruises to, an insane degree.
Yeah.
His head basically inflates like a giant fucking balloon.
Yeah. It's like the size of, like, an SUV.
Yes.
Or something.
And this is where our drama begins.
Yeah. His healing factor doesn't just take care of it.
No.
Like, it's there.
Like, yeah, he survives it,
mm-hmm.
but, he survives as a giant, broken-faced...
Mutated, yeah.
And then, things get weird from there.
Yeah. Yeah, there's where it takes the weird turn. Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we can go any further describing anything in here without totally ruining things.
Yeah, because it's all. I mean, it's so linearly, it is a superhero story where they have to do super things and save people and but it's so much more about just the oddness of having powers and what happens like in your relationships and your inner workings.
It at its core is truly a human drama.
It is. We've all been there.
With evil bodiless cow heads floating around looking for revenge. And men growing arms out of their chests.
Oh my gosh, yeah. The anti-mugger. I love that guy. He's great. He's like, his sole purpose is to stop muggins, and like there's even a point where they're doing something else, and he's like, well, we're not stopping any muggins, I'm out of here. He's just like, that's what I'm here to do.
He's the Batman of the God Hates Astronauts universe.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, I'm flipping through it right now. They're just, what's the, Carl, from Family Matters guy?
Gnarled Winslow?
Gnarled Winslow. That is amazing. That was the most axe-coppish thing, I think, out of the whole book was Gnarled Winslow. Because that guy, I don't know the actor's name.
Reginald Vell Johnson.
Okay.
Have some respect.
I know him as the cop in everything ever.
He's the cop on Family Matters.
And Die Hard. And I know he's been a cop in other things.
Probably has.
Yeah. But like, there was, a long time where just anytime you see him, like late 80s, early 90s thing that has a cop, it's that guy. But yeah, he's great. It's that guy.
It is that guy. The entire Family Matters cast is in this book.
Yeah.
If that is not enough reason to rush out and purchase this.
Yeah.
Then I can't help you.
Yeah.
So this started as a webcomic, and I think he eventually did a Kickstarter to publish it in paper form. And I know he took years to do the first 3 issues or so.
Okay.
So this book has those first 3 issues. It also has a series of backup stories.
Oh, yeah.
Which, honestly, I think are my favorite parts.
Oh, really? The backup stories?
Yeah.
I like some of them quite a bit. But
I honestly thought they were the best things ever. They're just 2-page origin stories of, like, all the major characters.
Right.
They are fantastic.
They are. Some of them are quite hilarious.
My particular favorite is the origin of Kraymok.
Yeah. He was in a circus. He was like a walrus. Or a manatee or walrus or
I think
something.
it's a walrus.
He shares a room with the strong man.
Yep.
And then what happens? Didn't they get injured or something in the
walrus dies.
Yeah.
And the strong man, tries to bring him back with the help of a witch.
She's also part of the circus, I think. Yeah.
Who basically merges them together so that they'll live forever together.
In the same body.
And they become Kraymok, who is half strong man, half walrus with laser eyes.
Right? But the best part of that, I think, that origin is towards the beginning when he's like, we were in the circus together. We even shared a trailer together. And then, like, in your mind, you're like, we shared a trailer together. And then he's like, we even slept in the same bed. And we had sex. It was just like, whoa. It just keeps going, like, because you keep, in your mind, you're like, are they insinuating that, this guy did something weird with this walrus? And then all of a sudden the walrus is like, we had sex.
Yeah.
It was pretty great.
So that's, I think, a key thing about God Hates Astronauts is that there is no insinuation about anything. It is all just laid out for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no subtlety.
No.
And I am 1000% okay with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man. And it has some of the best use of,
sound effects.
Sound effects, yeah. Ever. Oh my gosh. Some of the, like, you know, your typical PAL zap, biff, boom.
Sure.
Like, those are not in there, and they're very creative and original replacements. Like in a two-panel sequence where a guy gets punched twice, the first panel is Jack, and the second panel is Kirby. Which I thought was hilarious.
Yeah. I enjoyed that. I also enjoyed when someone got hit in the face and it just said fucked.
Oh, man.
But we're not here to ruin jokes.
No. Yeah. No, we ruin enough of our own jokes.
Yep.
No, but yeah, this book, it is kind of like The Tick or Axe Cop or something, but kind of like maybe in that teenage perverse, like, foul-mouthed period of its life.
Right. Or 40-year-old men
Or
like us.
40-year-old men, yeah. Yeah. It was insanely fun, though.
Yes, it is. So a couple months ago, Ryan Brown started a new Kickstarter for a 80-page God Hates Astronauts graphic novel.
Oh, wow.
I believe it's called The 2D Adventures of the 3D Cowboy, which is, I think, a character that gets introduced in a later volume. There are 3 volumes of God Hates Astronauts out
That's
right
good
now.
to hear. Yeah.
There's this, and then there was a 10-issue image series, and so the other 2 volumes are a reprint.
Okay. That's exciting. I thought this was it.
Nope. There are 2 more volumes and a 4th sort of graphic novel coming out shortly.
Nice.
So I saw preview art, I think it was of James Herron drawing a story in the graphic novel coming up. And it just looked hilarious and amazing. So I decided, you know what, I'm gonna back this Kickstarter.
Nice.
And then I was like, you know what, I should probably actually read this book. And, or, purchase it entirely.
Right.
So I went online and bought all 3 volumes, from instocktrades.com.
Okay, so you were kickstarting before you read the first
Yep.
volume.
Yep.
Wow, that's awesome.
Also, while I still had time to, cancel the Kickstarter in case this sucked.
Right, yeah.
But it didn't.
No, not at all.
So I'm happy to have donated money to that.
Have you read past this first volume?
I have not.
Okay.
Not yet.
What if it gets real serious and boring?
I doubt it.
Yeah, well, you never know.
I mean, I guess it's possible.
No, it's like teeming with just insanity and just vivid, pulsating, fucking weirdness.
Yeah, it is.
But like not in a weird for weird's sake, because it does like flow very well. It's paced great. The storytelling's awesome. Like you totally understand what's happening all the time. Yeah, it's. I think it's a home run.
I agree 100%. Yeah, it's funny though. When I went ahead and purchased these, I was looking it up online, so I just typed in "God hates."
Oh no!
And well, I was on a comic book specific website.
Okay.
So the result came back with "God hates comics." Was the search title that it looked for?
That's something.
No, it just thought it was funny. God hates comics.
So, do you think maybe that's where he got this name, where those people like constantly make those signs that say God hates whatever,
It's possible.
so they can protest gays or whatever they want to do.
I mean, maybe God does hate astronauts.
Well, yeah.
I mean, they are pretty much going against nature.
That's true. Literally.
Yeah.
Against nature. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, there is like a brief reference to people who are, farmers basically, building poorly operated, spacecraft and the power person's 5 are supposed to kind of keep them in line because they're injuring
That is
themselves.
their primary job.
Yeah. But that's like such a like insanely small part of this book.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Maybe it's. I would say like it's. It almost seems like one of those things where like if this was a studio book or something like that, like the boss in charge is like, it's called God Hates Astronauts. You gotta throw an astronaut in there. Yeah.
Maybe just so he could explain away the title.
Could be.
Yeah, look on page 4. Because it's like, seriously, like 1% of this graphic novel
absolutely.
deals with astronauts.
Yeah, there is so much good. Like I almost want to just read like the list of character names just to like, entice people.
Well, yeah, Dr. Professor, of course.
Yeah, that's great.
That's a pretty good one.
Was it,
So Bluegrass is is the cow that merges with Starfighter to become Stargrass.
yes. Spoiler.
Well, that happens pretty early on. And it's on the cover, even.
Yeah, it is on the cover. There is an entire, like, B story about just sort of, like, owl gangsters.
Oh, yeah.
Who all have, like, owl puns for names. Right. Oh, yes. Admiral Tiger eating a cheeseburger.
It's a guy.
Yeah. That's a guy. Yep. And then I believe also King Tiger eating a cheeseburger is his dad. The Mummy Bailiff.
The Mummy Bailiff is awesome. That was a great one. Yeah.
Let's see.
I'm just thinking of the Mummy Bailiff story in my head. It's just like, yeah, that's one of those you could just. So if you're curious about this book, I wonder if you could just find any of those 2-page origin stories online to give you a taste of what it's like.
I don't know. If you can find anything like that, that is certainly the best way, I think, to do it.
To see if you'd want to. I'm sure if you have any sort of sense of humor or love of fun,
right,
you couldn't not like this. You
would think.
Yeah.
I mean, it's if you only like your superhero stories serious,
then this is the book for you, my friend. Go out and buy one right now. You won't be disappointed. This is basically the Watchmen of our generation.
I agree entirely. Like Watchmen with like some V for Vendetta.
Oh yeah, all your Alan Moore
and your Dark Knight Returns. All of it like in one chunk.
I heard Mark Grunewald's Blood is in the Ashes.
Yes, it is, and Kisses.
And the Inks. Kisses ashes are in this.
Yep.
They all killed themselves just so Ryan Brown could have enough ink to print this book.
Yep.
Very nice of them.
It's the best thing they've done since Destroyer.
It is. I don't know. Let's put the X in sex. Pretty great. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so God Hates Astronauts.
I'm so glad you picked this book.
Yeah.
Like, I literally would never have known how amazing this thing was. Because I don't think I ever would have picked it up just, like, even just looking at the cover, like, I mean, it looks weird. I mean, there's some strange looking characters, but.
Sure.
But I don't know. There's so many books out there, you never know.
That is true.
And this book was so good.
Yes, it was. And it was not, Astronauts in Trouble, as we thought it was.
That's what I was confusing it with, yeah. Man, I'm so glad it was this book instead of that book. I'm sure I like this book thousands of times more than I would like that other book that I thought it was gonna be. So that's great.
So yeah. Recommended.
Yes.
Get it.
Strongly. I'm gonna make sure that we start stocking the trade if it's in print.
That's
in my
awesome.
Store. There's been a few books that we've done, the podcast on where I'm like, okay, now that is now a book that is going to be part of our permanent collection.
Right.
Print allowing. Like, whether if it goes out of print or not, I'm not going
Sure.
to buy one for $40 to put in the store. But,
Right.
yeah, this is definitely going to be part of our constant rotation on the shelves.
That's good. I'm happy to hear that. I'm sure Ryan Brown is happy to hear that.
Yeah.
He'll never listen to this.
No, he won't. He's got better things to do.
Yes, he does.
But if any of
like
his,
more God hates astronauts, I hope.
I hope so. Yeah.
And maybe curse words. I guess he's drawn that.
Oh, is he drawing that?
Yeah.
Okay. I think, I think that comes out next week.
I don't know.
Unless we have a reorder. I know it's on our invoice for next week, but maybe it's...
Sworn there was a new issue this week. Maybe. I don't know. Well, whatever.
Yeah.
By the time people listen to this,
none of this matters.
Yeah. Nope.
They won't even be... Diamond Comics will be out of business by the time this one goes up.
Entirely possible. You never know anymore. 2019 has been a weird fucking year.
Yes.
All right. Well, you want to take a break?
Yeah, I should probably go towel off.
Okay.
God hates astronauts, astronauts, astronauts. God hates astronauts, astronauts, astronauts. God hates astronauts, astronauts, astronauts. God hates astronauts, astronauts, astronauts.
Hey, welcome back to the podcast.
Hello.
We're podcasting. That's what this is.
Barely.
It's nice in here, though. We have the lights out. We got the mood music on.
Yeah. It's kind of sexy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always kind of sexy.
Well, yeah. It's a little more
It's
sexy.
like
than
1%
usual.
more sexy.
Yeah.
So it's 111% sexy in here. Yeah. But, yeah, you been enjoying any other comics or anything?
I have actually read some comics
Yeah?
recently.
Like non-show ones?
non-show ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
What you been reading?
I picked up a couple of first issues of some stuff recently. There's been a lot of reboots happening because
Yeah.
it's a month.
Right. I know. Oh my gosh.
But I read the new Justice League #1 by Scott Snyder and Jim Chung, and thought it was terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We sold out of it.
yeah.
People
yeah.
asking for more.
Sure. Does not surprise me.
Yeah, I didn't even flip through it. I have no idea.
Yeah. The art's nice.
Yeah, he's fine.
I like Jim
Yeah.
Chung. Yeah. I've liked Jim Chung since
Young Avengers?
Huh?
Young Avengers days?
Even before then, my friend.
What?
I'm talking Teenage Iron Man.
Wow, I don't even know what that is.
Back in the 90s, in an attempt to revamp and revitalize the Avengers line, they did a story called The Crossing, in which the Avengers were betrayed by one of their own, and they had to figure out who it was, and it turned out to be Tony Stark.
From the past?
No, current Tony Stark.
Oh.
He had been corrupted by Kang back in one of his early appearances, so it was a retcon where
Wow.
he had sort of corrupted him, and it just slowly took hold over the years. And that's why he became an alcoholic, and that's why he became sort of an abusive a-hole, et cetera, and then eventually he just became evil and killed some Z-list member of the Avengers at the time who did not fucking matter, and who has never made a return appearance.
So basically they're saying, instead of inspiring you to clean up your act and become a hero, like, if you're an alcoholic or a terrible person, you're gonna just end up spiraling out of control, and you might as well just get out of the town.
Might as well. So the rest of the Avengers then decided that they were gonna travel back into the past and pull a pre-corrupted Tony Stark from the timeline, back when he was a teenager, and bring him to the present to fight modern-day evil Tony Stark.
So the Avengers went back in time to kidnap a child.
Yes.
And from his parents, or no, I guess his parents were dead in the car wreck,
he was an orphan at the time. Yeah.
He is a superhero, so he's obviously an orphan.
Right.
But still, they kidnapped a child and, whisked him away to the future.
Yeah.
Okay, I did not know that.
And basically forced him to build an Iron Man armor of his own to fight the modern day version of Iron Man, who he won, but at a cost. In which old Iron Man basically punched a hole through his chest, requiring young Iron Man to also need a chest plate thingy.
Wow, the irony.
I know.
That's good writing.
Yes, it is. And so Jim Chung was drawing the Iron Man book during that when teenaged Tony Stark became the main character of Iron Man.
Wow.
And I read it.
The smile on your face was like, I did that.
Yep.
I made a poop. That was great.
Yeah, technically, Marvel made the poop.
You just flushed it.
Yep.
So somebody had to read that shit.
Oh, yep. And it was me.
It is a soap opera. It really is.
Yeah.
I mean, cause it never ends. We were talking about that today. They were talking about, so our friend Jeremy Anderson was in, and he was talking to Jeremy Hoyt about Blade of the Immortal. It's one of both of their favorite books.
Sure.
And Jeremy was talking about how he loved that, it was by one creator and there was an end, and even though it was this long super saga, it ended and it had a final ending, and I was just it's really too bad that they just can't do that because they're such commodities, all the heroes in DC and Marvel. It's hard to make an impactful event happen in one of their stories because it's just going to get retconned.
It's an illusion of change.
Yeah.
I remember distinctly that the teenage Tony Stark went away when they did the Heroes Reborn.
Oh yeah.
So it was the
Will Spertasio. Is that who did Iron Man?
I believe so. Yeah. So after the X-Men Onslaught crossover, that's when all the Avengers disappeared. And that's when we had the Rob Liefeld Captain America and the Jim Lee Fantastic Four, and Will Spertasio, I believe, did Iron Man. And then when they returned back to the regular Marvel Universe, it was just regular old adult Tony Stark again. Mm-hmm. And I remember distinctly because Kurt Busiek was writing Iron Man when they came back, and I remember an interview in Wizard. He was like, "Oh yeah, we'll get around to explaining what happened to teenage Tony Stark," and I don't think they ever did.
Well, the new Tony Stark #1 came out today.
Oh yeah, the new Iron Man.
Maybe it'll be in there.
It could possibly be. That's also funny because when I went to Mavericks to buy books today, our friend Jeremy Hoyt was complaining about Iron Man to me.
That sounds like Jeremy Hoyt.
Yeah.
Actually, usually he complains about a DC hero.
Sure.
Because he loathes the DC heroes.
That he does. But he was talking about how much he had enjoyed the previous Iron Man series.
Bendis stuff.
And he was like, I was following everything, and then all these things happened, and Bendis had introduced so much stuff, and now here's this new issue #1, and none of that stuff is in here, and it's they don't even make a reference to it. I was like, what the hell happened?
Yeah.
And it's like, did they flash forward in time? And he's like, no, they don't say anything about it. He's like, I don't know, man.
Yeah. A lot of times they just start fresh.
Yep. But then that led me to, because Bendis left Marvel after 20-some years.
It's crazy.
To go to DC, where he's currently writing some Superman comics.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just announced yesterday that he is going to be introducing Nuclear Man into continuity.
From Conan O'Brien?
No.
Oh.
From Superman 4, The Quest for Peace.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wow, yeah.
And when it was announced that Bendis would be writing Superman, I said the one surefire thing that they could do to get me to read a Superman comic written by Brian Bendis would be the introduction of Lenny Luthor, played by John Cryer in Superman 4, The Quest for Peace. This is one step closer. We are getting there.
They're getting there. That's awesome.
As soon as Lenny Luthor
Oh,
makes his first appearance, you'll be able to see my erection across the country.
Or at least smell it.
Yep. That would probably come first.
So, should I buy a bunch of copies of that? Because it's going to be worth money? Because it'll be the first appearance of Nuclear Man.
Of the movie adaptation?
Yeah. Oh, was he in the movie adaptation?
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, would they consider that? Because that's not part of, like...
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. That's weird. I better buy a bunch of both.
You better, yeah.
Both of them, yeah.
Man, when I was a kid, when that movie came out, like, what, 1987? Something like that?
Yeah, probably.
So I was like 9. Like, I didn't see the movie until, like, years later. Like, well after it was out on, like, video. But I had the movie adaptation, and I had the novelization.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, that's right.
And I read them over and over again.
Isn't there a lot in the comic that's not in the movie?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a first Nuclear Man that never appears in the movie.
Oh, wow.
And he basically looks like Andre the Giant, sort of, like, with a giant black mullet.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean, I guess sort of like a Bizarro kind of Superman kind of
Right.
trope, but yeah, there's scenes, like, in the comic and the novelization that never made it into the movie.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, fingers crossed. Let's see the DC Comics version of John Cryer.
Wow.
As, an 80s punk.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
Who is Lex Luthor's nephew.
That'll be awesome.
What were we talking about? Jim Chung, Iron
Just
Man.
books we read,
comics in
yeah.
general, yeah. Oh, yeah, I read the new Deadpool #1. It was alright. Like, I laughed.
Who wrote that?
Scotty Young.
Scotty Young, yeah, that's right.
I read Immortal Hulk #1, and it was the best of those three.
Yeah.
But
I was a little disappointed
Still
with it.
not great. Yeah.
I was disappointed that they didn't, like, kind of stand their ground with making Hulk super monstrous.
Right.
Like, he does something, I'm not gonna spoil it, in the book where you're like, oh wow, that's super dark, but as it turns out, even like just 3 pages later, it wasn't that dark after all. You thought it was gonna be more grim than it was.
Right.
And I really thought they kind of like reeled it in, and it wasn't as impactful as it could have been.
Yeah. Yeah, because the new take is allegedly supposed to be this horror take on the Hulk, which makes sense and
Sure.
sounds intriguing, but yeah, it's still, it just, yeah, it was, they pulled the punch.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Yeah.
like it felt like it even makes you think, you're like, oh wow, that's pretty, oh wait a minute, that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Okay. So it just, instead of like making you think like maybe you were guessing too far ahead, they really do kind of sell it as that, and then,
Yeah.
he just kind of wieners out.
Yeah.
But it was interesting. I read the Venom #1. I thought that was okay.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't pick up #2 though, as did no one, because we sold out of #1 and we had less of #2, and we still have tons of #2.
Oh, wow.
So I guess nobody liked it.
Yeah. That's weird. I mean, I'm not a fan of Venom.
Yeah. The art was really good, though.
Oh yeah, Ryan Stegman's a really good artist. Yeah. I am, however, looking forward to Cosmic Ghost Rider when that comes out.
It's already sold out from Diamond.
Nice.
By the way.
Sweet.
Yeah. I thought I over-ordered it, but apparently not. So, we'll see. Well, I don't know, maybe I under-ordered it. I don't know.
It just looks like ridiculous fun. And, I think yesterday they shared some art online from, like, the 3rd issue, where, Howard the Duck has the, gem of, Sidorak, so he is, the Duckernaut. Awesome. So, I'm on board.
Yeah, you gotta read that.
Yeah. Let's see, anything else I read? I read a couple issues of Man of Steel, the weekly Bendis kickoff of his run on Superman. And I've enjoyed exactly half of it.
Sweet.
He really actually does have a very good grasp on what makes Superman Superman, and how to tell a good Superman story. When, it's just Superman being Superman.
Right.
However, his plot of retconning, like, the origin of Krypton and all that stuff, boring and shitty. And his villain is fucking terrible.
Right.
Yeah. So every part where that stuff is involved, I could give a fuck about.
Right.
But every part where it's just Superman hanging out and being Superman, or being Clark hanging out with his friends, those parts are all really good.
It looks cool. Yeah.
It's got some great artists on it.
Yeah.
Doc Shaner, Kevin McGuire, Jason Fabok.
I don't know Fabok. Who's he?
He's just kind of a all-around DC workhorse.
Okay.
Did a lot of Justice League stuff and Batmans and the What's Nots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it sold very well for us, so
that's good.
Hopefully the next couple issues do it well.
That is weird because people are calling it a flop.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, we're selling it pretty well.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that's pretty much it for me in comics.
Yeah.
You?
I've read a couple. I read Bloodstrike number 0.
Oh yeah. I haven't received my normal shipment yet, so
I enjoyed that.
that's good.
I will definitely. I think number 23 or whatever is next week.
Yeah.
So I'll check that out too.
Awesome. For people not in the know, that is the Michelle Pfeiffe sort of revamp of the old
Extreme Studios.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. His art is incredible.
Oh yeah.
Like, I've been looking at his convention sketches that he does, and just, like, he adds, like, just like a minimal amount of color. Like, he did one of Magneto, and there's just like a tiny bit of red, like, reflection in the helmet of a mostly black and white drawing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's just, like, a really great color designer.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I agree. It's definitely a thing that stands out in Copra for sure.
Oh yeah, just the color. Yeah, it's very vivid, and, like, it's weird. It's almost like parts of it are minimally colored, and then parts of it are just, like, saturated with crazy colors.
Yeah.
And he just really knows how to make that choice.
He's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely...
Makes me want to rub the blood.
Sure. I know that, so they reprinted Bloodstrike number 1, like, as part of, like, this event of the reboot and everything like that. Did the reprint have the rub the blood cover stock?
I didn't even know they reprinted it.
Oh, okay.
So we probably didn't get that one.
Fucking Jeremy.
Well, we have the original in our dollar boxes still.
Well,
so
but this is a new version.
It's weird though, you're like, why would we pay $2 for something that we're trying to sell for $1? That's not good business.
Because it was probably recolored?
And, I mean, if there was, like, a backup story, maybe.
Right,
but
yeah,
I didn't even know that it existed until you just said that.
Okay, yeah. I remember seeing it when I placed my order for, the new stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, should I get that? And then, my next major thought was also, of course, well, does it have the rub of the blood?
Yeah. Right. That's the
'Cause-
best part of that book.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure that every copy I've ever seen in a dollar box or whatever, like, has been worn out.
Oh, you couldn't rub it anymore?
None that I've ever tried.
Huh. I just assumed you could rub them still.
I don't know. I mean, I do go around rubbing a lot of stuff, but, you know.
Yeah, you do. Some of it doesn't work anymore.
No. Sad, but true.
I'll have to check, because we have, I don't know, I actually literally just saw a copy like yesterday at our store, so I need to check and see.
Maybe I'm doing it wrong. Like, I could never get stuff like that to work
Well,
properly.
see, I don't, like, I think it might be a misnomer, because I don't think you're actually supposed to rub it. I think you're just supposed to press your finger on it
Right.
for like 30 seconds and then take your finger away.
Like, you
Sort
know,
of like
like,
those old Transformers.
that's what I
fingers.
was just about to say.
Yeah.
Like, I never even got those to really work for
Oh,
me
really?
that well, yeah.
Did you try rubbing those?
Oh, yeah.
See, I just
I said I rub everything.
hey, you weren't lying. You're rubbing me right now. Quit it.
No.
But yeah, I think you just press your thumb on it for a while and then move your thumb. Yeah.
I've never been able to get, like, those, 3D pop art things to work either, so, yeah.
And maybe it's just like press the blood or touch the blood didn't sound as good. So
I guess. I mean, press the blood, maybe.
that sounds cool.
Yeah. The only thing like that I ever got to work was, like, if you put, like, a cold beverage in a cup, like, the cup would change color.
Oh yeah. We still have some of those kids' cups
Sure.
in our house.
Kids. cups.
Yeah,
They're
but-
yours.
I know, but I can get away with it because like there's a 10-year-old that lives here. Leave me alone. Those are his He-Man toys in my glass case too. Don't touch them.
Do you read anything else?
I read another book last night, but I'll probably be picking that for the show very
Okay.
soon.
All right.
Not
This
this time,
yeah.
but very soon.
Alright.
Yeah, no, not really. I don't think I have.
Been seeing some movies lately.
Mm-hmm.
Using Movie Pass while it still exists.
Yeah.
As long as it does. I saw like 4 movies in a row. One was great.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Incredibles?
No, haven't
Oh,
seen that one
oh.
yet. Yeah. It was, I saw Hereditary a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
Horror movie.
That sounds good.
It's seriously amazing. Like it is a great movie. It's also one of the very few movies I ever, like 30, 40 minutes in, was just like, I should leave. I can't watch this. Like, it was devastating.
Oh, well.
And stressed me the fuck out.
Well, that doesn't sound fun.
It's not fun.
No?
It is not a fun movie.
Okay.
It is good.
Yeah.
You know from experience by going to movies with me,
You're a
semi-regularly.
magnet for,
I do not
douchebags.
have great luck
Yeah.
in the people who choose to see movies at the same time that I do. And, that happened, for sure. There was only 6 other people in the movie with me. Not with me, but just
There.
in the theater.
Right.
4 of them talked throughout the entire movie.
Yeah, that's not good odds.
No.
That's like 2/3 of them.
Yeah. It was, an old couple and then 2 young women, probably 20s, early 20s, who talked and laughed throughout the movie. It is not a funny movie.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Well, they were probably talking about something completely different.
Oh,
and-
I'm sure,
and funny.
probably. Yeah. But other than that, boy, that is a stressful panic attack of a movie. It is amazing.
I don't know if I can watch that. I get panic attacks watching, fried green tomatoes.
Well, I can understand that for sure.
Yeah.
I would, as much as I want that movie to do well and people to support it, boy, am I going to say that it is best watched at home by yourself.
Yeah.
or with someone you trust that won't be a dick.
So that movie is the LSD of movies.
Possibly.
Yeah. Watch it with a safe friend
Yeah.
in a safe place.
'Cause apparently, I don't think this is spoiling anything, but there's a character quirk that is frequent throughout the movie, where a character will, like, cluck her tongue, throughout, and it's kind of a harbinger of stuff at times, but it's just like a thing that this character does. And apparently there are movie theaters where people are seeing this, and people are just being jackasses and just clucking their tongues throughout the movie. And
that's dumb.
America needs to be annihilated.
Well, it's gonna happen. So.
Well, sure. It just needed to happen sooner.
That is weird. Why would people do that?
Because people are assholes. What is happening to society?
Are we getting old? I don't understand things like, I didn't order a Marvel comic that came out last week that was called The Weeknd Presents Starboy.
Okay.
Because I was like, oh, it's a Marvel comic based on a hip-hop album. I know from tradition that doesn't sell at all.
Right.
Because the last one that they did was a Black Eyed Peas comic.
Sure.
And we still have, we've still never sold one.
Right. Well, that was a graphic novel.
It was a graphic novel, but still, I've heard of the Black Eyed Peas, and I'd never heard of Weeknd. So I was just like, I'm just gonna skip this. And like 80 people asked, like, where's the Weeknd Starboy thing? And we're like, really? Seriously?
Huh.
So,
well,
I've never heard of the Weeknd. Oh, I guess, I don't think, actually, I thought it was hip hop, but I think he's more like R&B.
Yeah,
but either way, I'd never heard of him.
I have heard of The Weeknd. I have not heard The Weeknd. I have heard of the Black Eyed Peas. I'm familiar with the Black Eyed Peas, and I think because of that is maybe the main reason that book didn't sell.
You're right. Yeah. Well, neither one of them looked very good. The comics,
well, sure.
So.
No. Those things usually look terrible.
Yeah. Like even like Neil Gaiman, who I like, doing an Alice Cooper comic, who I like, drawn by Michael Zulli, who I like, didn't make me want to read that book.
Sure.
So
I will tell you this, that book is good.
Is it?
Hell yeah.
It didn't look good.
It's pretty good.
Okay.
I enjoyed it.
Huh.
Well, I like my next pick.
I like those three things. But I would have expected it to be slightly better than like an ICP comic.
Sure. I mean, I've never read an ICP comic.
But you're guessing they're terrible.
Nor will I.
Next pick.
I will evil Ernie that shit on you.
Well, they were both Chaos Comics.
So. That is also true. Okay, I'll let you pick the ICP comic if only we can listen to the corresponding singles that came with each issue.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, each issue. Yeah, we have a couple of those that are still bagged with the CD single. Yeah. And every once in a while, a juggalo will wander in, hopped up on Fago, and asked to buy an ICP comic, and I dig one out for him.
So I saw that you had copies of The Weeknd Starboy on the shelf.
Because after the immense demand, we ordered like 6 copies, and Diamond, in an untypically cool fashion, pre-packed them, like with an order that was already going out, and so we got them a week before we like should have gotten them. Because you typically when we reorder something, it takes them 2 weeks to get them to us.
Right.
But they went ahead and packed it with this order. And we haven't sold a single copy.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So, there you go.
So, apparently you had to have it the moment it came out for it to sell really well.
Yeah. I don't know. All modern music sucks anyway.
I'm sure there's some good modern music.
Maybe. I don't know.
Just gotta dig around and find it.
I saw that there was a rapper who got shot and killed in Florida like 2 days ago.
Oh.
It was like, and then, like, there's stuff on Twitter, like, celebrities react to this guy's death. I was like, I've never even fucking heard of this guy. Ever. Like, never once even mentioned anywhere. And I'm online!
Yeah.
like, I get that, I'm 40 and, like, into rock and metal.
For sure.
So that type of stuff, normally, like, I either don't pay attention to or don't give a fuck about.
But people talk about a lot of stuff online.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I sadly know who the fuck Kanye is, but, like, you'd think once in a while, like, one of these names would, like, come across, like, and then something that I read, but I've never heard of that guy.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah, we're a little out of touch, I'm sure.
Well, sure, absolutely. We're 40-year-old dudes who live in Dayton, Ohio, you know, who love comic books.
That sounds great, actually.
That is pretty good.
I feel better about it now that you say it like that.
And yeah, that's, I think...
I'm okay with being out of touch.
Exactly, yes.
Yeah.
That is what I was about to say. It's
Yeah.
I don't give a shit that I don't know who these people are.
That was less a confession and more just a factual statement.
Yeah. Like,
I'm glad I don't know who most celebrities are these days.
I would prefer not to know who some of the celebrities I do know who are. You know?
I know who Pat Sajak is.
Yep.
And that's about it.
That's all you need.
And Vanna White.
Well,
she
sure,
does turn all
yeah.
the letters. But
She's the real star.
she is.
Yeah, like, you know, there should be no good reason that you or I should know who in the hell any of the Kardashians are.
Right.
By name or by appearance. And for the most part, I don't. But the fact that I know that they exist is bad enough.
It's bothersome.
Yeah. And despite the fact that apparently the Black Eyed Peas are from our generation, the fact that I know who they are.
That's bothersome as well.
Yes, it is.
I mean, I don't hate them, but I could certainly never listen to them again. It'd be fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was trying to think if I've heard any. Like, I think I've only bought 2 albums this year, and they're both by bands who've been putting out albums for 25 years. So
The Melvins and Guided by Voices.
Those are the only 2 albums I buy every year.
Both who release albums like every 6 months or so.
They are
or more.
Well,
But Guided by Voices like once every 3 weeks.
Melvins are usually good for 1 to 2 albums a year. It's kind of, I'd say they average it every year and a half.
Yeah.
They do 2 albums. So, but yeah, Guided by Voices, yeah, you can pretty much count on.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
It's like, oh, my wife's on her period. Time for a new Guided by Voices album.
Right? Is that what causes periods?
Yes.
That makes sense. She did. Oh my god, if they ever don't put out an album, she's gonna become pregnant. Don't die, Robin Pollard. It's funny though, they announced, so they've only had 1 album out this year, thus far, and they announced a single coming out next month. I was like, oh cool, they're finally putting out another album.
Yeah.
And it said for the release of their next album, which comes out February 2019.
Huh.
And I was like, well, that's weird.
That is super weird.
Yeah.
Huh.
I don't know what else is happening.
Maybe it'll get bumped up.
Maybe it was a typo.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah. But that'd be a lot of typos because it'd be February and 2019. We're both
Well, sure.
typos.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. Huh. Let's see what happens.
Maybe August.
Maybe
Easily.
Pollard is putting out his, 5th box set of 100 songs later this year.
Yeah,
Maybe
his
that's what
unpublished
Yeah.
works. Yeah. Or maybe it's a solo album coming out instead.
Yeah, I'd be
Yeah.
okay with that.
Or doesn't he have 5 other side bands?
He's got at least 2 active side bands.
So, there are still other avenues for Robert Pollard
Right.
to still release music
true.
before the next Guided by Voices album.
I do really like their stuff. They're one of those bands that I'm surprised at how much I like the books that are, or the albums later in their career. I think they have a consistent longevity of creativeness. So I'm really stoked that he's still making good music.
And I haven't. So I have bought an EP and a song on Amazon recently. The song I bought specifically for Gutter Trash.
Okay.
For a previous episode.
That hasn't aired yet.
That has not aired yet. But you told me that a band that we enjoyed, Dead Cross, put out a new EP.
Oh yeah.
Which is Mike Patton, Dave Lombardo,
And a couple guys from the
some
Locusts.
other guys, yeah. And I liked their first album a lot. And so he told me this EP was out, and I think it has 2 original songs and 2 remixes. And bought it 5 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago, and still haven't listened to it.
Oh, really?
Yep.
So I listened to one song because they had a music video, and the music video was great.
Yeah.
Like, it was like something you'd see on Headbangers Ball in the mid-'80s, and you'd be like, oh my god, this is violent and twisted and crazy.
Yeah.
But the song I thought was kind of boring. So that's the only song I've heard from it, so I haven't bought it yet because I didn't really care for that song. But and I didn't know there was only 4 songs, so that makes me less likely to buy it.
I mean, it was cheap digitally.
Yeah.
You know, because why buy a physical thing?
I like touching things. I like rubbing the blood.
I do like rubbing things too.
You can't virtually rub.
That is true. I mean, haven't figured it out a perfect way yet.
I'm sure they will come up with an accommodating device very soon.
Oh, I'm sure. I hope.
Virtual reality rub machine.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know. I'm so out of touch with even the music that I do like. Like, I don't even know when bands I like put out new stuff, you know? Let alone anything new to actually search for or to discover.
Yeah. I still listen to, so once a week, I don't every week, but I usually try to listen to Kaleidoscope, which is our friend Juliet's show on WISO, Wednesday nights, wiso.org, if you want to listen to it stream it for free. And she plays a lot of new music, and, you know, like, a lot of new music I don't care for, but I actually like hearing new music, even if it's, like, something I'm not necessarily into. I like the opportunity to judge new music and be like, is this good? And I have discovered some stuff on her show that I actually really, really like, and I wouldn't have been hip to. It's kind of like, it's one of the same reasons I like doing this show is, like, you hip me to stuff that I would never have read.
Right.
And, like, she hips me to music I never would have listened to. So there, I don't know. Like that band Lung that I really like.
Sure.
That's the first time I heard them was on Kaleidoscope, and I love them. They're great.
Well, you know, I mean, I love Juliet as much as you do, and I think she's an awesome person, but, you know, much like you with the books you pick for this show, I do not like her taste in music.
It definitely leans to, like, the indie scene, like indie rock and, like, kind of like the more singer-songwritery stuff and less...
Yeah.
Like, you like more, like, I don't know. I mean, you like diverse stuff, but you like stuff that has a bit more heft to it.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely like livelier stuff. And that's not to say that I don't like some sad bastardy, you know, quiet, you know, ballady, you know, songs, but for the most part, especially because I do most of my music listening when I'm driving, I need to stay awake.
You prefer your musicians on cocaine instead of heroin.
Yes. Yes. That is a very good way to put that, yeah. Maybe a speedball.
Yeah. Occasionally.
Occasionally,
yeah. You don't want them to die. You want them to
have
some good records.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. But also, you know, there's the whole fact that, there's no real radio anymore. Like, what there is just all pre-programmed, you know, corporate bullshit.
Yeah. I like, there's a station on Sirius XM called, it's like some sort of underground garage station. I like that a lot because they play mostly garage rock from like 50s, 60s, 70s, but they occasionally play brand new stuff.
The band brand new?
Yeah, the band brand new. And, no, they play like garagey sounding current music, like, I don't know, like the Hives or whatever.
Yeah.
Or like bands I've never even heard of, and some of those are good, but, I've noticed lately all I listen to is the classical station because I can't stand the shrill, high-pitched noise that XM radio occasionally does through my speakers, so I just avoid it now.
Yeah.
But,
well, that sounds like a problem with your stereo.
I don't know. I've never heard it on anything other than XM radio. Like I've never heard it on just the radio.
Right.
So I don't know.
Maybe the satellites are just scanning you.
Oh my God. Big Brother.
Yep.
Big Brother's raping me.
Yes, he is. Through XM.
Yeah. Seriously.
know those are jokes.
Funniest when we have to say that.
Yep.
They're jokes. That's how you know. That's how you know to laugh. So I guess I do have a comic in mind that's not by Chaos Comics.
Okay.
For us to pick.
You've already got my attention.
I actually have two in mind.
Alright.
The first one I want to throw out there, I'm like...
Are they from Avatar, or are they like published by
Boundless.
Dynamite?
Boundless, yeah.
You know, that was once formerly Chaos Comics.
No, but this first one, I'll say I'm 60.
Is it Tarot Rose of the Black Witch, or whatever the fuck it's called?
No.
Okay.
I would say I'm 60% sure you'll veto the one I'm about to say. So I have two in mind.
Okay.
In case
All right.
you veto.
Well, I'm looking forward to this now.
So my first choice, the one I'm
Pretty sure I'm going to be.
pretty sure you're going to veto,
Okay.
is I thought we should read the 2013 Shadow Man Valiant comic by Justin Jordan and Patrick Zurcher.
Why would I veto that?
I don't know. I just thought you might.
I like Shadow Man for the most part, and
I've heard a lot of negative things about New Valiant, so I figured maybe you'd read
No.
negative Valiant things.
no, not really. I mean, I read the first issue of that. And
Okay.
I didn't hate it, but I never picked it up anymore. I like Justin Jordan. I like Patrick Zurcher. Follow both of them on social media. Interact with both of them on social media.
Wow, this is working out.
So, yeah.
You want to do that?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Okay, cool.
Valiant, the
Shadowman Birthrights is the name of
Birthrights,
the
okay.
trade. I have the trade, so.
I was going to say most recent, but that is not true.
No,
'Cause
yeah.
there has been probably several reboots since that point already.
Oh, has there really? I know there's at least one, but
Yeah. No, yeah, I'm down.
cool.
All right.
Shadowman it is.
Sweet.
I think we were talking about Shadowman not too long ago, and it kind of got it in my head.
It's possible. It comes up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or are we talking about Nightman, maybe?
No, we were talking
Because
about.
I know I've definitely talked about both recently.
We were talking about a saxophone play in Shadowman.
Sure.
I remember that,
Yeah.
but I don't know if he plays saxophone in this book. We'll find out.
I hope he does.
He'd better,
Because, I mean, how are you going to stay true to the character if he doesn't?
right?
I need sexy sax playing superheroes based on dark things.
Yeah,
Night and shadows.
Shadows. Yeah. Did Nightman play saxophone?
Oh, yes, he did.
Wow.
Yes, he did.
They should have got together.
Johnny Domino.
Wow. They should have got together and had a sax off.
Yes!
Sax off.
I have been saying this for months now. Someone needs to bring back Nightman so that he and Shadow Man can have a crossover.
Wow.
But
They-
only if it's set in the 90s.
And it has to be titled Sax Off.
Yes. Yes.
And the byline will be like, get your sax off.
Yep. And they also have to fall in love.
Oh. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm with
So I
it.
want to see Johnny Domino and Jack Boniface meet up.
Jim Shooter, get
Jim
on this.
Shooter,
And whoever is in charge of Ultraverse.
right? Marvel, I guess, still,
Yeah.
technically. You know, they're coming out with, the complete series of Nightman on DVD.
Oh, wow.
I know our friend Matt Brassfield is looking forward to that.
Oh, wow. So he's the one looking forward to that.
Yep. Oh, but, so the assignment is next episode I will have my pitch written up for
Okay.
Sax Off.
Yes.
And we will act it out.
Can I be Shadowman?
Yeah, that's fine. I'll
Okay.
be Nightman.
Sweet. Oh, we should get Kyle Hotz to play Nightman's voice because he's an actor and he drew Nightman
That is true. Yeah.
and he lives here in town.
True.
But I don't think he would do it.
Probably not. Never in a million years. So that's why I'm going to be Nightman.
Yeah.
But if we know anyone who can play sax,
Oh my gosh!
you know, come on and score that episode for us.
Wow, I might know someone.
Oh man.
This is all coming together.
Okay.
We're finally gonna make it.
Even if we don't do the Nightman Shadow Man crossover pitch, just the review of the Shadow Man book, the 2013 Shadow Man by Justin Jordan and Patrick Zurcher. we need to have someone playing sax in the background the entire time.
For the entire episode.
Yes.
Okay. Well, we'll make it happen.
Okay. All right.
It's good to have a goal.
Good. All right. I'm on board. I'm fucking 500% on board right now.
I'm looking forward to it.
Excellent. I want to read it now.
I'll make some calls.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Sweet. Okay. We should go now.
Yeah.
Go, done.
Yeah, we got shit to do.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, I'm super excited and super wired now. All right. Goodbye. Thank you for listening to Gutter Trash. You can subscribe to the show from guttertrash.net or from iTunes and leave us a review. Visit guttertrash.net for email information and for other podcasts and websites in the Gutter Trash Network. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time.